Our 2008 PGA Show. There's Dave Hill sitting over there on the couch. We're at the Bobby Jones indoor range section, and here's my pal Jesse Ortiz. Hi, Jesse.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm really good. Okay, tell me about the new driver. The hybrids I've hit. I own them. They're amazing. Let's hear about the driver now.
We've created quite a stir here. Yesterday at the demo day, we were really busy all day long, and there's a good buzz on the new driver because it's triangular shaped, but it still has some lines like an old persimmon wood. So it's not way out of this world. It's still got some, class, elegance to it, but it is very unusual and different. It's because I believe that a triangular shape is a lot better for golfers than a square shape, because square resists the twist, and as everyone knows, when you swing your driver, the head is rotating through the swing, away from the target and then through the target. A triangular shape club gets the ball square easier at impact than a square driver. So our new driver is very square in shape, very elegant. It still has the same Russian BT23 that I had before, but it's just a very pretty shape.
So you mean it's triangular in shape, right?
Right.
Okay, all right.
Let's try and maybe get this angle.
Now, is that symmetrical, or is that actually, is the triangular portion of it slightly off?
The triangular portion, Tony, is slightly down, and that's because at the address position, if it was really done directly behind the center of the face, the club wouldn't look right. It would look like the apex was actually high. So I lower it just a little bit so that at the address position it looks perfectly centered. It's just one of those little tricks if you've ground a million woodwoods like I did that you'll learn. Aesthetics is very, very important in a golf club.
Well, aesthetics-wise, I mean, whenever my pals see my Bobby Jones hybrids, the first thing they do is go, wow, look how pretty that is.
Look how they're pretty, but form is function, and I believe that shape is very important to the performance of the club. Our hybrids were out 3 years ago. Everyone thought that the hybrid looked strange, it's unusual, looks triangular, looks like an old clique from the turn of the century. Yeah, that's true, but today, most of the manufacturers are moving more to a look like my hybrid is today. 3-4 years ago, the hybrids all looked a lot more like irons.
Right, they were square
back. The hosels were thick like irons. They had barrel hosels, and I was, a lot of people were wondering, well, Jesse, you've made these clubs. They don't look like the other hybrids. Well, and I said that's precisely why. I don't look at what other people are doing. What I do is what I do. I always look at a category and say, can I improve on how the products are in that category? How are they being made? I usually go against the grain. So that's really what I did with this driver also. I knew that a wide body club made sense, but it didn't make sense to waste the CCs up on the high right side or on the low right side. I put the CCs where it makes the most sense.
Now tell me about this bottom section here. It seems to be kind of raised,
quite a bit
there. What's the deal behind that?
Well, the USGA mandates that you can't make a club bigger than 460 cc's,
right,
and nor can you make it longer from heel to toe or from leading edge to the rear apex more than 5 inches. So they create like a 5-inch box and 460 cc's. So to reach that dimension, what you've got to do is you've got to move the metal around in other areas. I was one of the first guys in the industry to have dramatically raised sole plates, and not only does it make it look good, it also the raised portion creates nerves or like rebar, and that affects the sound and the feel of the club. Sound is feel. Sound is also vibration, so it changes all of that. And so to make sure that I reach it's 460 cc's or less, I scoop out the club aerodynamically so that it actually reduces the cc's, because cc's are measured by dipping the club head in water and seeing how it displaces.
Okay.
So obviously, if this section here of the club extended out, if you can just imagine, if this extended out like it does like on the other clubs, all this area here would be displacing water. So by scooping it out, it doesn't displace the water.
I see.
Kind of a few little tricks of the trade.
It also looks like this section
Angles down.
angles down, and that's also about where you want your swing path to be traveling.
Exactly, because that's exactly gives you the guide of the swing where it goes, and also the shape of the club does too. It isn't perfectly behind, but just a little bit. So when you take the club away, as Mr. Venturi says, when you take the club away, Jesse, this club just shows you the perfect takeaway path. And if you take away the club, Tony, wrong, if the first 2-3 feet are wrong, you got to do a lot of work to get that club back on the right path down. So if you can get the club going back in the right position, the first 3 feet, usually the rest of the swing takes care of itself.
And with this weighting, it makes the club want to go back the right direction.
It makes the club want to go back, because on a square driver, when you have the weight out here, when you first take the club back on a square club, this here wants to make the club close. This weight up here on the downward swing lags the club open, so it's much tougher to get a square driver square at impact. The triangular shape lets the club rotate naturally through the swing a lot easier.